The full details and further explanation on a $2,400 monthly benefit for Social Security, retirement, SSDI, SSI, and VA beneficiaries in accordance with the remarks out of the President yesterday. I have all the details for you in this video, so let's get into it right now. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I'm right here by your side every single day as your one and only daily advocate. As I'm doing all the research on your behalf, I distill it all down into these short videos, and I'm watching everything very closely as we're getting so many different things that are changing right now as it pertains to all of these packages, proposals, announcements, amendments, reform to different bills and programs. There's a lot going on out there right now, and anytime that we get updates that may impact all of us right here, I want to make sure that you know about it, especially if anything comes out that we can take advantage of. I'll be right here delivering you all that information so that we can jump on the programs, grab the money, grab the benefits, whatever it happens to be. I'm right here by your side. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that button right down below the video, and let's get right into this. All right, so if you happen to catch my video from earlier today, I want to offer a little bit more information on this, and I want to elaborate a little bit further. So I've been spending quite a bit of time today already reading through a lot of the comments on that video, a lot of really great comments on that one. So thank you so much to all of you who have watched that video from earlier, but I do want to elaborate a little bit more on this information and go over it a little bit more because there's actually a little bit of confusion about this, and I want to make it very, very clear. I want to set the record straight on everything going on right now. I want to make sure that there's no miscommunication, that there's no confusion about everything going on, and I want to elaborate a little bit more on that video that I released a few hours ago, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. As I said in that video, it is shockingly appalling. Yes, I know, something you probably wouldn't hear me say typically, but the deal is, it is. And I think a lot of you, based on the comments that I've been seeing on that video, probably agree the numbers and everything that I shared in that video are honestly a little bit alarming, right? So let's go through this information a little bit more. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, you might want to finish watching this one first and then go back and check out that one. It was just the last video that I posted just a few hours ago. So let's get into this a little bit further. Now where does all this actually stem from? Here's what's going on. So tomorrow, the new minimum wage for federal contractors goes into effect. It's a $15 per hour minimum wage. Now, this is something that the president campaigned on. He's been talking about it, and it's for federal contractors. It goes into effect tomorrow. This is not across the board for every single employee out there. It is just federal contractors. It'll go into effect tomorrow for about 70,000 of these federal contractors immediately, and then throughout the course of the rest of the year, it'll go into effect for about 300,000 additional people. So by the end of this year, there'll be about 370,000 federal contractors under this new $15 per hour minimum wage. So again, like I said in the video, that's great. For the people that are getting this, that's amazing. There's a lot of people out there right now only wishing they could earn $15 per hour. That's a pretty nice hourly salary. But again, at the same time, keeping up with inflation, it's kind of necessary for a lot of people right now. So again, I'm happy for the people that it impacts, but at the same time, as I talked about in that video earlier, let's quickly talk how this translates into all of these benefits I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Social Security, retirement, SSDI, Social Security disability, survivors, SSI, and VA benefits. Now, here's what I said in that video earlier. And again, I'm just going to preface this really quickly, and then I want to lay out some additional information here. So basically what I did is I took that $15 per hour, and I multiplied it by 40 hours a week, and I multiplied that by 4 weeks in a month. So 160 hours is what it comes out to. Just to give you the quick calculation on that, $15 an hour multiplied by 40 hours a week multiplied by 4 weeks in a month comes out to 160 hours, which actually translates into $2,400 of income for the entire month. Again, as I said earlier, not bad, right? I think a lot of us here in the community would be more than happy with $2,400 per month. Think how that would change your life, especially if you're somebody receiving, say, SSI, $841 a month. Just imagine what your life would be like if your income went up to $2,400 a month. it'd be dramatically changed, right? It'd be like 3x of your income. It'd be huge, right? So that would be a big, big change in a lot of ways for a lot of people. So here's what we're talking about. And really quickly, on that video from earlier, I saw a number of different comments coming out. Again, a lot of you watched the whole video and said, yeah, this is appalling. Seriously, I don't know how else to put it. And we talked about the whole dignity thing and all that, which I'll hit on here in just a second. But I also did see a number of comments saying, when are we going to get this? When is the raise going into effect? All right, let's stop right there. Let's hold up for just a second. As I mentioned in that video, that was not in reference to a raise at all, but rather I was giving the $2,400 as I just laid out, the $15 per hour multiplied by 160 hours for the month comes out to $2,400. So I was using that as a benchmark to kind of build a better case, if that kind of makes sense. So for the people that were asking, when is this going to go into effect? Okay, here's the deal. It's not a proposal. It's not going into effect anytime soon, right? So I want to make that very clear. I apologize if there was miscommunication on that last video or if there was a misunderstanding, but I just want to make it very clear. It's not a proposal. It's not something that's going into effect anytime soon. I was using that as a benchmark against the $15 per hour minimum wage, if that kind of makes sense, right? So there were also some other questions on that video from earlier, basically asking like, who's going to get this? When are we going to get it? All of these things like this. Again, nothing right now is in the works for any of this to happen. So again, as I've said before, it's very important to me to be completely transparent, to be accurate, honest, and reliable with all the information that I'm giving. However, I only saw this come up, maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 times at the most, probably not even 10 times, honestly, but I wanted to lay that out just to make it very, very clear what is going on. So the moral of the story is this much. Yesterday afternoon, the president was out with a statement, and he was talking about this new $15 per hour minimum wage for federal contractors going into effect tomorrow. And essentially what he said in his statement was this: a job is about more than a paycheck, it's about dignity. Well, that, I don't know, when I say it again, it just like lights off a little firestorm in my mind, because seriously, it really rubs me the wrong way to hear this. And the reason for it is, it's nothing against the $15 per hour people. I mean, by all means, $15 an hour is good, and I'm very happy for the people that are getting it. However, when we're talking about federal contractors, what are Social Security benefits? What are SSI benefits, SSDI benefits, VA benefits? Essentially, I think we could all probably say, in a sense, it's kind of a federal benefit, right? It's a program administered by the federal government, therefore, it's a federal benefit, right? Or am I wrong, right? But I guess I think a lot of us here could probably agree that these are, in a sense, federal benefits, just like the federal contractors. And what I was saying is, all of these beneficiaries, now not everybody, there are some people out there getting over $2,400 a month of their federal benefits when it comes to Social Security retirement or maybe SSDI benefits, things like this. Not SSI. SSI does not go that high. So no matter how you cut the cake, SSI is not that high. Regardless of how you do it, you can't get $2,400 a month from SSI. It's just not happening. $841 is the max as an individual, and $1,261 is the max as a married couple for SSI. So this year, by the way, it changes every single year. But basically what I was saying in that is the statement that really bothered me about what the president said yesterday. And again, I don't take sides here in the videos. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to say anything bad about anyone. I'm simply saying the statement out of the president yesterday is just not really sitting well with me. And here's why. As I laid out in the video yesterday, or not yesterday, sorry, earlier today, just a couple hours ago, as I laid out in that video, it was very clear that these $15 per hour minimum wage contractors, again, if it's all about dignity, as the president said, let me back up for a second. If a job is about more than a paycheck, but it's about dignity, the point I'm trying to make is, what about the dignity of all of these federal beneficiaries of Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI, VA, all of these people who, again, I calculated it all out. And as you saw in that video earlier, it is absolutely appalling when we look at the per hour rate. If we calculated it out based on the same numbers that we looked at earlier, as in 40 hours a week and 160 hours per month, it comes out to, it at best, again, based on the averages, $10.35 per hour, at best, right? Again, according with the averages. That is really low, especially when we're talking about dignity being $15 per hour. So that's where I was saying this whole thing's kind of rubbing me the wrong way. And when it comes to SSI beneficiaries, yeah, you're actually looking at $5.25 per hour based on a 160-hour per month work time, right? 40 hours a week times 4 is 160 a month. So that's where all this came out to. So yeah, kind of an unfortunate situation. So if we're talking about dignity, we should probably be talking about dignity for probably the 70 million beneficiaries out there right now who are receiving, again, federal benefits, right? And we should probably be taking care of all these people as well. Now, there has been talk about raising these benefits up to 100% of the federal poverty line. And again, I have not run the calculation on that, but that would come out to $1,073 every single month. Now, here's another couple things that I've seen down below in the comment section on that previous video from earlier. And again, it was, I saw this come up a few times, not a whole lot, but I want to mention it really quickly. Some people pointed out, and again, I think this makes a valid point, but again, let's just kind of take this with a grain of salt. When these comments that came in said the Social Security program was not set up to completely replace the income of somebody receiving Social Security benefits, but rather it was set up to replace about 40% of previously earned income, right? Well, okay, I guess that's a fair argument, and that's a fair thing to bring up because, yes, I guess if you look at the parameters of Social Security, the program was supposed to be a supplement, if that kind of makes sense. But the deal is, okay, if it was set up as a supplement program, as in it was supposed to be supplemental to income, what about for all the people who maybe have a benefit sub, maybe like the poverty line, less than $1,073 a month? Should we maybe be doing something about that? Should we maybe supplement the supplement, if that makes sense? Should we maybe be supplementing that income to make sure that at a bare minimum, there's a minimum benefit of maybe, I don't know, the federal poverty line? Again, I'm just kind of running with this and kind of thinking maybe we should have another supplemental program on top of this to help out the people who maybe, this is their only income. And we've talked about this previously. What was it? 40% of Social Security retirees, this is their only income. And I've seen it down below in the comment section. I know that a lot of you right here in the community, Social Security is your only income. Or how about this? What about the elderly person or maybe the person who's maybe middle-aged? So, whatever the age. Honestly, the age has nothing to do with it. But what about the person who maybe is working and becomes disabled and starts drawing on Social Security disability? What about that person? Well, they were working and unfortunately they became disabled and they were no longer able to work at the capacity that they were, and now they're drawing on Social Security disability. What about that person? Should they maybe have a floor also in their income? Maybe like a guaranteed minimum benefit of, I don't know, at least the poverty line? Again, just kind of running with some ideas here, but it seems like with these comments that were out of the president yesterday and this whole dignity statement and things like this, I feel like, maybe this is a time that they could re-examine some of these programs here and figure out that, hey, maybe some people out there, maybe there should be a floor on these benefits. In the event that somebody, it relies on Social Security or retirement or SSDI or SSI as their one and only income source, which again, like I just said, 40% of people receiving these benefits, it's their only income source. So I don't know. I feel like maybe we should relook at these programs and feel like for those people out there who have these programs and these benefits as their only income source, maybe we should put a floor in for these groups of people, right? So that their minimum benefit, regardless of what goes on, is maybe the federal poverty line or something like that. Again, just kind of running with some ideas here. But again, after I calculated all those numbers from that video earlier, I thought, wow, this is really shocking to see this, right? That so many people are expected to live on these few $100s per month when it's getting to be really tough these days, right? With everything going on. And again, we can go down many, many different examples here where we've explored in separate videos talking about how the low income and the fixed income are really the ones that are being hurt the most right now with all the inflation. So, and again, with interest rate increases coming here probably within the next month and a half or so when the Fed comes out with their next statement, that's just going to be one more pillar where the low income and the fixed income who are maybe relying on personal loans, lines of credit, things like this right now to help bridge the gap in their income, again, just going to be hit even more. So again, just another interesting point. So for those of you that have been watching that video from earlier, hey, I appreciate it. A lot of really good comments on that video. I think a lot of you down in the comment section, based on what I was reading, I think what I presented in that video earlier was very eye-opening. Yeah. One thing I love doing is because I love playing with my calculator. In fact, I have my calculator sitting right here. Got a calculator right here. It's actually a talking calculator. Check this out. Watch this. 5, 6, 5, 6, 0, 5. Yeah, so anyway, side note, by the way, if you're still watching, I think many of you know that I'm blind, so I actually have a talking calculator. Yes, it talks to me, and I play with it all the time. So it sits right here on my desk right next to me, and holding it right now. But yeah, I play with my calculator all the time, and when I came across those numbers, I thought, wow, this is kind of a sad situation. So anyway, also, if you're wondering what I play with while I talk and I make my videos, I play with a silver coin. So I sit here and I fiddle around with something the whole time when I record. It's a silver coin. Actually, somebody gave this coin to me, and it just sits right here on my desk. And I sit here and fiddle around with it the whole time that I record. So if you're ever wondering what I'm doing with my hands, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm playing with this guy. I don't know. I love it. I like playing with it. So it was a gift from somebody, and I really enjoy it, and it just sits right here on my desk the whole time. So anyway, just a couple other quick little side notes about me that you probably didn't care about, but anyway, that's what I do. So anyway, I hope this offers a little bit more clarification and explains things a little bit further, but again, for those people that were wondering on that last video, when is this going to happen? Again, I was using the $2,400 as a baseline to kind of, give you a better point as to what I was trying to, the points that I was trying to get across in that video from earlier. So again, I don't want to lead to any miscommunication, confusion, anything like that. I want to make it very clear, as that is my dedication to you, being honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent with all the information that I'm constantly talking about in my videos. So hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching this. I truly appreciate it. Go back and watch that video from earlier. It was the last video that I posted if you haven't seen it yet. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, family, social media. Actually, more importantly, go back and check out that last video from earlier and share that one with your friends, family, social media, because that is the eye-opening video as I go through all the numbers in that one right there. Also, go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,100 videos right here on the channel. And with that being said, if you're interested in checking out the fan club and joining the list for shout-outs in our videos every single day, feel free to check out the fan club. There's a link down below in the description. Otherwise, at the top of the comments section as well, there is a link there that we will post for you. Otherwise, with that being said, let's bring Corey in for the new list of shout-outs for everybody that are pulled right out of that fan club. And again, you can check it out down below. Otherwise, Corey, take it away. And this list is changing in every single video. So, shout-outs, here you go. And I'll catch you again later in the next video. I'll see you for now.
Today's shout-outs are Lillian Alland, Lucindy Baker, Mindy Fuller, Kathy Ormsby, Suzanne Fulbright, Maybella aka Maygirl, Teresa Brewer, Sky Rob, Imogene Tibbetts, Jose Mendez, Pamela Stewart, Bob Lee, Angie Hinkle, Jarita Duckworth, James Johnson, Robert Rivas, and Sharon Ianni. Thank you for being members of the fan club.